In today's video, I'm going to remove the old caulking on this pop-up trailer, and I'm going to reseal it. I'm going to use acetone to clean off the old caulking that's really hard to get off. First, we're going to scrape it with these scrapers, and these are the blades. You're going to need lots of these. I'll put a link down below to where I got these on Amazon. You're definitely going to want gloves. Be careful with the acetone if you use this method. Have the sealant that I'm going to use, which is ProFlex RV. This is not a sponsored video. This is just the sealant I bought. And a couple of little miscellaneous tools, the utility knife and the flathead screwdriver for digging out some of the old caulking. I've already done a portion of the trailer, so I'm going to walk around and show you so you can decide if this looks like it's going to be sufficient for the type of job you want to do or not. So here's the portion. This is the part we're going to do. This has not been done yet. And over here, middle of the pop-up, obviously I've already done this. Now I'm not the best guy with a caulking gun, so what I'll do is lay down a bead. I'm going to show you this as we go, and I generally will have to take my finger with the glove on it and kind of lay that down, right? So let me show you that. This is where we're going with this. Go over to the other side, and this is what I'm saying. Some guys or girls, whatever, are great with the gun, and they can lay down a nice even bead. I tend to have to go along afterwards. Also, I want to mention before I forget, I intend to paint this trailer as soon as I'm done. If you're using the acetone, which is great for getting the old sealant off, you can see that the acetone is powerful, which is of course why I use it, and it actually will lift the paint. So you might have to take a longer, more a different method if you don't want to risk lifting the paint. You can see where you can see the aluminum right through, because the acetone, which was great for taking off the old caulking, actually lifts some of the paint. So this is where we're going to head with this job. If you're using this same tool as me, you're going to go through a lot of blades with this. It's hard on the blades. This is a great little tool, by the way. Again, not sponsored. So to change the blade on this, you can see the both sides can be used. I'm going to use our fresh side here, and all you do, pop that in. That little tab there comes into place. So from there, make sure that this is on the camera. All you do, basically, go like this. Now what I've been doing, because I want the new sealant to really get in there, is I'll take my trusty flathead and just kind of go like this. There's where our rags come in. You get the general idea there. And I'll take it along the aluminum strip up here too, do the same thing. I'm going to go up the whole line and do this, but just so you see where I'm going with this, I'm going to use the acetone and show you how that works. The reason I let that whole last clip play was I just wanted you to get the idea. That was 15 minutes. Now my YouTube editor, she fast forwarded through that, but I just wanted to give you the idea. It's going to be a bit of a tedious project, you know, so get yourself a couple of beverages maybe on a weekend or something and take your time doing it, because if you get this down just to the aluminum like that, this is going to seal up really good. But if you don't get rid of that old sealant, you're going to have your new sealant bonding to old sealant. And a couple of years from now, you might have to do that again. This is not something you're going to have to do very often. So anyways, here's the result. Excuse me. And the other thing is, I'm really fussy on this part because obviously this is the roof. When I get around to the sides, I'm not going to be quite this fussy, but you know, for obvious reasons, you want your roof to seal up the best. The sealant has an angle marking on the side of the tip, and you can kind of line it up for the size of the bead that you want, and then just take your box cutter knife and cut it on that angle. So another thing, when I go to do this, I always have a wet rag around. Is that coming out there? Yeah. So anyways, again, disclaimer, some people could do this no doubt without having to go along with the gloved finger afterwards and clear this all out. I am not one of these people. I'll just do a little section here and show you what I do. Okay, get that. Let me make sure this comes out. So basically I try to kind of even it out and push the sealant like that. Where am I at in the camera? Hard to tell. Am I still there? I'll raise this up. Shoot. Any viewers that have any tips on how to do this better, make sure you comment down below to help people out. So that's basically the backyard mech method here. Change that down there. These rubber gloves are cheap. I would like to have lots of them around. I think you get the idea. Not pretty, but effective. As I mentioned, I decided to paint the pop-up. I want to show you something here. This is the portion where I laid down the caulking and it went down pretty good. But one thing you may want to avoid is caulking when the trailer is directly in the sun. And this is what happened here. You see how I had to run that all out to the side? Hopefully you do. And what happened was, as I was laying down the bead of caulking, it was actually drying, because when I did this side, it was in the sun. Anyways, I've painted over it, but I think you can see what I'm talking about there. So try to avoid doing this if it's in direct sunlight on a hot day. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching.